Do you think me a fool? Do you really think there would be groundbreaking new alien information and I wouldn't know about it? Ridiculous. I stay at the forefront of all alien developments. I love alien shit. Last night, there was a surprise broadcast from Mexican Congress where they presented supposed alien corpses. And you bet your sweet bippy I was glued to it. Now, I want to start by laying out the foundation here. I'm going to give you all of the eating utensils before feeding you the meal. Basically, what happened is there is a individual by the name of Jaime Maussan, and he claimed that he had thousand-year-old alien bodies that he presented at Mexican Congress. There's a lot of confusion around this situation right now. People are misled into believing that this was the Mexican government coming forward and just dropping this hot potato on everyone out of nowhere, when that's not the case. This is from an individual, Jaime Maussan, who is a UFOologist and researcher, and he is presenting all of it. And this isn't even his first time doing it. In 2017, he presented yet another mummified alien corpse, not human, but it was later debunked and proven to not be alien at all. So he has done this before, but this time around he's presenting new corpses and also claiming that there's been extensive research, studies, tests, and scientists working on it to confirm that these are 100% real, authentic extraterrestrial visitors. Now, he and his team are saying that all of this information is available for any scientists around the world to confirm their findings, which I think is great. Inviting research into these is fantastic, and I guess we can finally know for certain if he's being truthful here, and these are somehow actually alien bodies. I guess they came down to Earth for fucking spring break and just, they lost control of themselves, maybe drank too much and died of liver failure. I have no fucking clue. But we have these corpses from 1,000 years ago. He's claiming these are mummified aliens and has a bunch of tests, allegedly, that they've run on them and is inviting the rest of the world to do the same. So I'm excited to see if the rest of the world does that and if they also confirm all of these findings. But now let's get into talking about the aliens themselves, and then I want to bring on an expert, my father. You all know my father is on the cutting edge of everything alien related. If anyone's going to have an eye to see through the bullshit, it's gonna be old Papa Charles, I'll tell you right now. Oh, it's a little carcass. I couldn't even tell. I don't believe that at all. This is way too stereotypical alien look. I think there is no way. I think there's absolutely no fucking shot. I just don't believe that, though. If this looked actually less like all of the movies depict aliens, I'd be far more on the side of, possibly. But this actually just looks like a prop. From, like, Arrival. Or, not Arrival. What's the, Oh my god. What is the one that has the really quintessential grays from back in the day? I can't remember now. They even made like little postcards for them. Like, you're invited. Okay. Pretty cool. It'd be wild if these were real and our movie depictions of aliens were spot on. That would be crazy. That would be big. But I don't see why they would bother faking this. I don't see what the gain is other than like a good joke. Humano? No humano. I understand that. I feel like aliens are likely to look like giant insects. I think they'd be insectoid as well. Your father would disagree? I don't think he'd believe this. This looks very silly. And especially just to drop it cold turkey out of nowhere on a YouTube stream. Well, I guess it was more than a YouTube stream. This just happens to be one of the places it was broadcast. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. So they put it into a database that is able to be accessed by anyone to verify their claims. They show a list of tests that have been done to the bodies, including metallurgy specialists, radiologists, and geneticists. They verified the authenticity and age of the bodies. They showed scans of their insides that showed metal implants in some of them, as well as eggs with embryos and organic material inside of them. Okay, well, if anyone can access it, it should be super easy for every other scientist in the world to start running tests on it then to confirm it. That should be an easy slam dunk then if it's real. Oh, it's a 43 gig file. Holy shit. Well, if it's all there, then put it in the labs of the brightest scientists in the world. They'd all want to get a piece of that action, I imagine. Let them run wild. We could win the alien war if they actually look like that. In hand-to-hand combat, for sure. But their tech to get here must be nuts. So now let's go ahead and break down what we've seen here. Judging from the bodies, they're not that large. They're not, like, imposing in stature. I actually feel confident that I could beat them in a fight, whereas normally the only age group I'm comfortable at beating in hand-to-hand combat is ages 12 and below. I feel like there's just not many children that would beat me in pugilistic combat, and I feel the same for this alien race if they're all about that same size. And who's to say that these aren't like their elite warriors and the normal aliens could be even smaller? Like, I feel like I'd have no problem just wiping the fucking floor with them, just feeding them knuckle sandwiches out the wazoo. So that's nice. That makes me feel a lot more confident should this be a real alien, and they all look like that. I feel like we'd have a really good chance if it came to, like, fighting them with our bare hands. Now, apparently one of the aliens also had eggs inside of it, so I guess it was pregnant. Maybe it's possible we could dust the cobwebs off and hatch those puppies ourselves. That would be pretty wild. But now anyway, you've heard from the dumb Neanderthal, Charles White Jr., but let's hear from the preeminent expert in alien research, Charles White Sr. I've given you my perspective. I don't necessarily believe this, but I'm going to withhold full judgment for the rest of the world's scientific studies on these bodies. Hopefully those results and those studies will be conducted soon. But let's see what my dad had to say.
Me.
Hey.
What's up?
You look at the alien corpses?
No. Where's that?
How have you not seen them yet? Go look at them right now and tell me what you think.
I'm working on the Top Fuel dragster.
Well, the Top Fuel dragster can wait. You gotta see the alien corpses. I need an expert's opinion.
Why do you care? What, because you want to make fun of me?
I'm not making fun of you. I just want to know what you think about it.
So where do they claim they got these things from?
The Nazca lines. They claim they're 1,000 years old.
Well, I know all about the Nazca lines.
Yeah, I knew you would.
They look awful small. I mean, to me, it looks like a fucking paper mache rock or something.
So, you don't think it's real alien evidence?
I don't think it's real. I mean, not to me. That's not real alien evidence. That could be any video. Hell, I could build that myself. With some paper mache.
Okay. All right. So this one does not have your stamp of approval as legitimate.
No. But all the other shit in the world does, like all the construction and all the other stuff. I mean, this is like, I don't know. This is too phony to me.
All right, so it's not as convincing to you as Puma Punku and all that.
Fuck no, not even close.
Okay, well, you heard it here first. If my dad doesn't believe it's real alien evidence, then dag nabbit, it's just not real alien evidence at the end of the day. So he's not super convinced of it. He's of course going to keep his finger on the pulse, as will I. Since they are inviting the rest of the world to study these mummified remains, I'm hoping that we'll get some conclusive yeses or nos on if it's extraterrestrial or not. I feel like that shouldn't be super hard to prove if it's a fucking alien, if it's something that we've never seen before, and, I feel like that'd be kind of easy if it's all real, but we'll wait and see. Either way, it was still just a wild development from out of nowhere, so definitely wanted to talk about it. That's really about it. See ya.